Alright guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am here kind of a different topic. I haven't talked about this show or any of the franchise shows yet on this channel. This is kind of like a random little topic video I'm throwing out there. So I know the viewers on this video may be thrown off, especially because I've never really talked about SVU or organized crime or anything on this channel yet. I've always kind of wanted to in some ways. But I thought this would be a good topic video just to, share my thoughts, as I was definitely somewhat surprised to hear this news today. Well, it came out yesterday as it was posted on her Instagram page. But another part of me that, hasn't really ever been really revealed on this channel too much is a couple years ago, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was, I, out of the blue, got hooked on watching Law & Order SVU. I was sitting in my aunt's basement with my grandfather on Easter one day, and in 2018, and I remember he had like a foot injury or something like that. So I spent most of the time in the basement sitting with him since he couldn't go upstairs, and I somehow got hooked on SVU. And at first it was some bootleg websites, but then eventually Peacock. Actually briefly Netflix, and then of course came Peacock. Once I got that, I've been able to binge watch all the episodes of SVU. I only watch SVU. I think it was more so I just got invested. And a lot of people are surprised I even like watching SVU because of what the premise of it and whatnot is. But I think I think the characters are just very interesting that I got invested in, especially of course in the beginning years with Elliot and Olivia, Munch. Kragan, they were interesting characters, and there's been some that have come and go that are like meh, but some have come that are great, like the one we're about to talk about here. That I'm very surprised by this news for sure. I think it's just like a different, something different that came into my life that I just happen to enjoy watching. I know it's not an easy show to talk about because of the premise of it and whatnot, but I still, for something different, I do watch the new episodes, and here and there I binge a little bit on Peacock and whatnot. I only watch SVU, though. I don't watch, any of the other ones, just the original series, which just got rebooted earlier this year. The only other one I watch, I'm not too invested in, is Organized Crime, because Elliot's back, and I wanted to see his story. But, anyways, enough rambling about that. Let's get into the news I want to talk about. So, as you see to my left here, we've got no one other than Kelli Giddish, who plays Amanda Rollins in SVU, and she's played, and this will be her 12th season on the show. She came in season 13 after the departure of Christopher Maloney, who played Elliot Stabler, and for a while she was actually the partner of Olafin Tutuola, who is basically number 2 in command, and has been on the show the second longest to Mariska Hargitay, who I feel like the whole series has been more so, even though of course Elliot was the main character until he left. This whole series, I think, has fallen on the career of Olivia Benson, played by of course Mariska Hargitay. Kelli Giddish, though, I will say, her character as Amanda Rollins is definitely one of the best characters in the series. One that I've, of course, been invested in. That came in later in the series that I did get interested in. But it was announced this week. There was some rumors. And then, of course, Giddish herself revealed on her Instagram that the rumors were true. This upcoming season, which premieres on September 22nd, my birthday, it'll be a 3-show crossover with Law & Order, SVU, and Organized Crime, having a 3-part crossover with each other, which I think will be neat to see for sure. But it was announced this week, and Giddish made it official, that season 24 will in fact be Kelli Giddish's last season on SVU. I'm not sure if they're going to write her off straight away or if she's going to go throughout the whole series. But before I started this video, apparently her exit was not her choice. We're going to read this article, which also has the Instagram post that Giddish had posted yesterday. So the article says Kelli Giddish's upcoming Law & Order Special Victims Unit exit was not her choice, nor was it a decision made by showrunner David Graziano, Variety has learned. According to multiple sources, the SVU shakeup was a call made from above, with one insider noting that the company is always looking to keep the show as up-to-date and current as possible. Mariska Hargitay, who is both the star and an executive producer on the Dick Wolf drama, as well as at least one other producer, pushed to keep Giddish on the protocol. But the decision has already been made. So obviously it was someone higher above all them. Additionally, salary negotiations and her future on the show were part of the conversation, and ultimately a compromise couldn't be made, which always seems to be a factor. That's what happened with Christopher Maloney when he left after season 12. Giddish confirmed her exit in a statement on Wednesday, writing, "I wanted to address the chatter I've seen online and let everyone know that this will indeed be my last season on Law & Order SVU. Playing Rollins has been one of the greatest joys and privileges of my life. I've been so fortunate to be a part of the Law & Order family for the last 12 years. There is simply no other character on TV like Rollins. She's grown and changed, which I definitely agree, and I have as well. I started on this show when I was in my late 20s, and I'm grateful I got to spend so much of my adult years with Rollins in my life." Graziano, Giddish said. Graziano, who was named new showrunner when Warren Light exited after season 23, responded to the news after angry fans began tagging him in social media messages. "You might take a moment to entertain the idea that things are more complex than they appear in a world of emojis and tweets. And all I'll say is Kelli has handled this with the most incredibly class comportment." He wrote in the comments section of Giddish's Instagram post, "She is without a doubt one of the finest industry professionals I've come across in my 24 years of running television. I'm saddened by her looming exit. It'll be my lucky day if I ever get to write for her again." Giddish joined the series for season 13 in 2011 alongside Hargitay, Ice-T, and Peter Scandavino. Scandavino's Carisi entered a romantic relationship with Rollins at the end of last season. That was definitely a long time in coming. Following the exit news, producer Julie Martin promised fans via Twitter that the duo will have a happy ending. Thank God. I don't want her. I was already, shocked that they completely went. Of course, she came out for one episode on SVU, of course, but I was definitely shocked when they wrote off Kathy Stabler as deceased when they brought back the Stabler family, and I'm like, gosh, don't do this to Rollins, please. Giddish will appear on the season 24 premiere, a 3-hour crossover with the organized crime and the Law & Order flagship series set to air on September 22nd. Again, no word yet if that'll be her last episode, or if she's going to go the whole season and then be written off in the finale. How that's going to happen? Well, they said it's a happy ending. Again, thank goodness. I don't want to see Rollins get written off through, death or something like that. Oh, dear Lord, please don't do that to me. But yeah, I was surprised by this. And the other thing I'm surprised, too, is I haven't heard yet if season 24 will be it or not. Because I think they got renewed for 2 or 3 seasons when it was announced they'd go to season 24. And I gotta be real, I do feel like season 24 should be it. Maybe they can go one more year, because like I said before, the whole premise of SVU, the main story has basically been Olivia's career. Because she was the new detective, basically, at the beginning. She's gone through, even though she wasn't the main character, she's the one that's grown through and gone up the ladder throughout the whole series. So, I personally still felt that season 24 should be it, unless they go to season 25, because they say that Olivia did 25 years in the business and retire from that, and they've already teased having the physical therapist. I think this past season that Olivia went to see basically tell her she should consider retirement. And I don't know, the past couple seasons, especially starting at the episode when Elliot returned, I felt like a lot of the episodes started focusing more on the personal lives of the characters rather than the actual premise of them being involved in the sex crimes. I feel like it was like kind of more so doing stories that are based off of them, which is fine, but it doesn't quite fit the SVU, like what the whole point of this show is. To have us get like kind of like a behind the scenes look of what's like in the special victims, unit of a police squad. So again, and especially also since they brought Elliot back, and I've heard some people say this too, and I do kind of agree. It feels like they're taking just a little bit too long. I mean, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting to the point of like, okay, are you going to have Elliot and Olivia end up together or not? Because I feel like they're dragging their feet a little bit on it. I mean, I get it. Organized crime is only going into their third season now. I get it. But, I'm just not sure, how else you can get... I mean, again, my thing is, like, the whole concept of organized crime, I don't quite understand it. Like I said, I only watched the organized crime because of Elliot. But if it wasn't for Elliot, I probably wouldn't watch organized crime either. So I don't know if they're trying to get more mileage out of organized crime before they actually put him and Olivia together. But I'm getting to a point where it's like, if they don't do it this season, then why should we even think they're going to ever do it to begin with? So I feel like it's starting to drag on a little bit, though, with the season. As for Giddish, though, like I said, it definitely surprises me. Because if they're going to keep the series going on, the cast is strong already with Mariska Hargitay and Ice-T. Peter Scandavino, I think he's even good too. Like they just got rid of Jamie Gray Hyder, whoever the name of the lady was who played Kat. They just got rid of her, even though she was only on just for a couple years. And now they brought in Octavio, Officer Joe, whatever his last name was. You know what I'm talking about. Like a couple of those people, it's like, okay, you can bring them in, it's okay. But this late in the season, in the series, and especially if the series which again, it's starting to feel like it's running its course. You're taking out this big of a name. Why aren't you just wrapping it up? Like, I feel like, if you take away Rollins, I feel like she's someone you're not going to be able to replace this late in the series. Like have someone mean, a character like Rollins mean this much this late in the series. Because when I first read that, I'm like, why don't they just announce it's going to be the end of the series? You know what I mean? Like, it's like again, like how are you going to, I mean, yes, and that's the thing too, is Carisi going to stick around? Like, what's this happy ending going to be? Or is Carisi going to get written off too? I mean, I haven't heard anything about him leaving yet, but again, it's a weird situation. So I'm not sure. I mean, again, besides, contract negotiations, I get that. But if there's other reasons behind this that they don't see here as like part of the future, and again, it's like, okay, the show's trying to be more modern day, but what else can you possibly do at this point? And I don't know if you're going to take away one of your bigger characters and then try to bring in somebody else this late in the game. It's not... I don't feel like it's going to be able to keep it going. I mean, don't get me wrong. I may have felt this way if I would have watched the show back when it was, got to season 12 and Elliot left. I probably would have maybe felt the same way at first about, like, Rollins coming in or, Danny Pino coming in to play Nick Amaro. But, of course, now, of course, I knew it already happened when I first started watching the series. I thought it worked out. And again, like I said, as the show took more focus on the career of Olivia Benson, I was just like, okay, I feel like, that's why they got so much mileage out of it. But now that the one who's been there since the beginning is, getting to 25 years on the job, it's like, you think she's going to hang it up soon? So, we'll have to wait and see. But, I definitely did like the character of Amanda Rollins. I definitely did see the story about how, like, she grew. I mean, she had her vices, like the biggest problem she had was her gambling addiction. And she's not had the strongest relationship with her family. We've seen episodes with her mom, with her father, with her sister Kim, I believe it is. You saw that, the relationships there aren't rocky. And, like, all these vices that the characters have, has been interesting as well. Like how she's grown and matured, of course, from her gambling addictions. You know, she became a mother. You know, they definitely teased the crap out of a love story with her and Carisi, and they finally pulled the trigger at the end of season 22. I'm like, awesome, this is great. But I definitely do think she's been one of the stronger characters in the series, and her leaving this late, I think, is like, ugh. How do you go on without her, though? You know, we'll have to wait and see, of course. But yes, definitely surprised. We'll wait and see how long into season 24 they take her, unless they write her off right away or leave for the same thing. What is this happy ending for Rollins, as they like to say? What are your guys' thoughts? Are you guys shocked that Kelli Giddish is going to be leaving SVU after season 24? What do you guys think the happy ending is going to be? Do you also think that SVU should consider calling it quits soon as well? As I personally feel this series has run its course. Make sure you leave guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.